live, we're live, we are live.
Alright, we are live with another episode of Mini Life.
What up, what's good?
Oh, for the love of Mary. You know, it's just been one of those mornings, right? Scrap heap.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, cheers.
Scrappity hippity hippity hoppity hippity hoppity hippity hop.
Hello, everybody. How are we?
How
are you,
How many
Mike?
people have stayed for that intro?
Oh, God knows. They probably all buggered off by now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You know?
yep.
Yeah.
My mic keeps moving, and I don't know why. It's all
This
falling
is-
apart.
What is happening? This is the
I don't know.
you know, it's the downfall of Mini Life.
It's the beginning of the end.
Oh, son of a bee. Well, you know, we decided to not waste a day of recording and jump on here, do a little chinwag. Try to do a little, you know, we hadn't done I don't want to say major car update, but, you know, car update. Sean definitely hasn't done one in a while. You've kind of gotten bits and bobs from me. And then I think we got a little special Paddy Probe today, where I think we're going to probe each other. We've gotten requests for that, you know?
I don't know how I feel about that, Mike.
I'm going to probe. I'm going to give you the probe.
Yeah.
With the amount of leaks my car has right now, it should be painless. Can we put this in? I don't even know. I'll have to put explicit on this episode. All right, I think our audience is mature enough, you know.
Yeah, we're all.
It's all
we're all grown.
jokes. It's all fun and games. People live a little bit, you know. That's what life's about. That's what the mini life. That's what the mini life is about. Before we lose a bunch of people and get
Let's do this.
canceled. Is this how we get canceled? This is how you get
I don't
canceled.
know. I don't want to find out though.
You can't cancel us.
You can't cancel us. You know who we are. Let's get into it, Mike. Shall we? Let's
Scrap Heap, tell us about your project, Scrap Heap. What is going on?
Well, it's
Are you even going to finish this thing? It's been 84 years.
What year is it? Yeah, it's so okay. I think the last time I updated everyone, it was going to
time ago. I can still remember when Sean Scrap Heap had a car.
Dude.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I've been working on my voice lessons.
Yeah, you've been. Thanks, appreciate it.
Long time ago.
All right.
Before
we do get cancelled, Mike.
Sorry.
Let's do this.
Everyone, write a comment. Do you like my singing voice? Should I sing more or less? Comments.
Don't hold back, everyone, on the answers either.
Was it that bad?
No, it wasn't actually. I've definitely heard worse. No, next is going to be bloody yodeling, isn't it?
This episode is just gone down the turlet.
It really has, isn't it? What is going on today?
This just brings up another question. Why don't Europeans just call it the toilet? Just like, hey, I got to go to the toilet. It sounds so crude.
I mean, what's crude? It's not crude. It's the
like,
water.
I got to go to the toilet.
Yeah, that's where
what
you're going. Oh, mate,
Yeah,
we are so down a rabbit hole right now.
I thought you guys would be like proper and be like, oh, I got to go to the powder room. Powder room. What's the difference? Do you guys even say restroom, or all your signs just say
God, no.
toilet?
No, they
What's
all
wrong
say
with
WC. Do you want an update on the car, or do you want to talk about toilets?
No, I want to wait before we get to the car. What does WC stand for?
Water closet.
What? Water closet? That's
How do you
an
not know
actual thing?
Genuinely, yeah.
You guys, so that's oh, we're talking about this later. Water closet? I had not heard that one before. Anyways, all right. Minis. While we're all here, let's talk about it.
Right, so last time I gave an update to anyone publicly on the Mini Life podcast, I think I discussed that it was just having like a light freshen up, new paint, do some head work, and put it back together. Unfortunately, that has not gone overly well. It's currently in a million pieces, and it's basically a shell, and it will be just a shell again.
It's a roller. It's a roller.
For now, until I take the subframes off.
Yeah, so it's a roller now. We're good. We're good right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, it's got half the engine in still, so.
So were you
yeah.
trying to just kind of scuff it and paint it, or what was your? Were you always going to pull the subframes off?
No,
What led you down this rabbit hole, other than the fact that it's a Mini?
Well, yeah, yeah, because it's a Mini. No, basically, I had some brand new panels put on it about 6, 7 years ago, and the tin worms started to come through again.
And
So,
wait, what started coming through?
like tin worm, like the little surface
Oh,
rust.
tin worm.
Yeah,
Tin worm.
yeah. So I thought, do you know what? While it's winter, car's not being used. I'll just, I'll de-rust those bits, and I'll just scuff up the original paint, and then I can, prep it, paint it, and put it back together. Unfortunately, the more I took off, the worse it's becoming. So, unfortunately, my mind works at a million miles an hour with stuff like this, and I get some really good ideas, and I get some really dumb good ideas. And I thought it would be a great time to freshen up the interior as well as doing all the paint and the mechanical work at the same time, which, it needs it. So I started stripping the exterior, primed. The front end is completely in primer now, which is good. There's no more rust coming through, which I'm happy with. I started stripping out the interior as well, and I found a few lovely holes on my lovely floor pan. So yeah, that's
The damn old boot.
yeah. Well, the boots, I didn't realise the boot had a couple of holes in. Something's leaked in the boot. I don't know what it is, but it's
Wait,
damp.
the floor pan and the boot have holes.
Yeah. So where the front
They're just
bulkhead
You're
joins
just gonna
the floor
patch
pan,
them.
I don't know. I'm gonna take the front subframe off, and I'm gonna see how bad the hole actually is. I haven't poked it yet because I don't want to.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I know. I think because of how stiff I've run the car over the past summer, a lot of that kinetic energy has had to go somewhere. So I think a lot of that energy is trying to separate the front bulkhead from the floor pan, because I've got a nice crack running along that seam. So I've got to address that, and there's a couple of little holes, and there's a hole. I say there's multiple holes, but I think it's going to be one big hole in the back on the boot. So yeah, subframe's got to come out.
Do you have solid engine mounts in there, or what?
No, they were just the OEM ones. I think they were the original ones from '86, so they're probably crushed and squashed, and yeah, they're probably not doing a lot.
Yeah, someone
So-
switched mine to solid mounts, and it's
We got like Polybush.
no, they're like just aluminum or metal or steel, or I
okay,
don't know
like
what they
real
are.
solid.
Yeah, they're legit solid. There's no rubber up there.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
The rear, I didn't know that at the time because the engine, everything was, I want to say everything was standard. I thought everything was standard at the time, and I only needed to address the rear. This is when I first got it, so I put, just standard bushes in the back, which is, now
fine.
that I've, it works great. The rear is really sorted, but now I think I read it after the fact that people do that anyway. They put solid up front and gives it a little, I don't know if that's accurate or not.
A little bit of flex
Again.
or something, yeah.
Again, we don't know what's right on the internet or not. Everything on this podcast is disclaimered. So what happens? What happens if it's too far gone? I mean, nothing's too far gone, but is there a point where you're like, shoot, is it the juice worth the squeeze? Should I just scrap this shell and find another one?
I mean, fortunately, the shell overall is actually in really good condition. Like, I had a lot of work done to it a few years back, which has probably saved the shell itself.
Yeah.
It is what it is. There's only a couple of little holes, but if I end up cutting out the entire floor pan, I cut out the entire floor pan. At this point,
that's
it's
the
not.
thing. I think this isn't the proper way, but I think it's doable. Like Like
Yeah.
my floor, or excuse me, my boot had a couple holes, and I just patched them. I mean,
Yeah.
is that the proper way? No, but listen, not everyone can do a full restoration. Like people patch
No,
stuff.
that's
Like
it.
it's fine. It works great. I
Yeah.
raptor lined it or whatever the hell that shit's called.
Oh yeah, yeah, like the truck bed lining
Truck,
stuff.
yeah, kind of, and
Yeah, yeah,
everything's
yeah.
great in there. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some
Look,
other bits and bobs,
the,
but it's
the thing is, like the basis that I'm going on is the bits that need to look nice will look nice, but like the underside of the car, if it's patchy, but it holds up, it's fine. I don't care. It's not going to be a show car.
it's
It's
a
going to be
driver,
used to blast down a country lane.
right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So
But
I'm
you
not
know, on
fussed.
one hand, yeah, it's a blaster, it's a driver, but we want it to be safe. I'm not saying cut
Yeah.
corners, and
Oh
I
God,
know
no.
there's probably body people out there, but like, you know, if it's not anything like in a crucial area and it's just like a hole, random hole in the floor, like just patch that bitch
Just
up,
patch it. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter.
patch her up. I
No
mean,
one's going to see. Who
there
cares?
there's a fine line of like what's attached to it, or is it, you know?
Yeah.
I get you.
But
We
yeah.
I
So
think. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. So yeah. The bodywork's getting done, which is fine. I realised, well, you know, and probably a lot of my followers know that throughout the summer I had a lot of overheating issues going on. I didn't want to admit defeat with it. I thought it was, you know, thermostats or water pumps, stuff like that, and it turns out it wasn't. After everything got replaced, it was the head gasket which had gone for sure. So heads off, engines stripped out near enough now, and it's going to be built into hopefully a nice little 998, little Super 998. Hopefully, if all goes well according to plan. But it's one thing in theory, it's another thing in practice.
Yeah, yeah. The more you dig, the more you find. It's the rabbit
Exactly.
hole. It's the rabbit
It
hole
is.
that we all go down.
Yeah, and I've done it once, and I'm doing it again after 18 years and having the car on the road for a year. So I think I'm winning.
I mean, in theory, like bodywork takes a while, but in theory, if you hit that every weekend,
Yeah.
you know, patching up some holes doesn't take that long. Are you gonna do that yourself? You have someone to help you? You've
Yeah,
ever welded?
so no, I'm gonna actually learn this time round so that
Yeah.
if it does happen ever again, I
I
know how to
learned
do
I
it.
learned on mine with a cheap ass welder, and it's not half bad.
Hey, yeah,
That's
if
what
it
a
works, it
grinder's
works.
for.
Exactly. People are screaming at us right now, Mike.
No, honestly, I mean, listen, I first admit a lot of like even like a lot of the panels people do like plug welds. It's not like you need to
Yeah.
run a perfect bead.
No, that's
And
it.
if you're patching if you're patching a hole, you know you could literally just kind of boop 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 boop,
Yeah,
and you're going to grind it down anyway. You're not trying to leave those welds. Like it's not like a
exactly.
showpiece,
No,
right? Like
exactly. And you know, a bit of carpet can hide it or something. It's fine.
people
But
probably hate us right now.
well, yeah,
You know.
probably. But the good news is, I have finally sat down, spent some time, and designed a livery for the car, and I am so chuffed with it.
Did you finish it
Yeah.
for the most
Oh
part?
god, yeah. Yeah, there's a couple little things I want to change, but
You sent me some stuff and it looks cool. I
yeah,
like the vibe.
it's going to be wild. It's not subtle.
It's a good combo of like it's like a combo of old and new, really.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
I showed a friend of it, and he turned around and said it's very David Bowie, and I kind of see it.
Okay. Okay.
It's not a bad thing,
No.
but yeah, it's gonna.
I'm
I
not
think
going to
it's
say
gonna
what
surprise
I
some
think
people.
it reminds me of because I think it would give it away for a lot of the
Ooh.
audience.
You'll have to tell me after then.
Yeah, I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's cool, and I've never seen a mini that's very similar to that. Honestly, you don't see minis with too many like liveries like that.
no,
You know,
no,
sometimes
it's a
you
shame.
see the traditional kind of Cooper Car Company or
the Britax
Britax
and
or
yeah,
whatever, which are amazing, and I would love to duplicate. But I think our cars are a little different. I think ours need that kind of retro, hand painted kind of. And again, I'm not saying this is what yours looks like, but you know, hot rod style, where
yeah,
it is kind of that. It's very old school, but very new school.
yeah.
It's a cool.
Yeah,
It's a very good vibe. I like it.
hopefully,
De-
I'm
definitely a
hoping it
scrap
pulls
heap.
off. Man, it's scrapyard. Come on.
Oh, that's
I
hilarious.
haven't got the heart to tell Kevin. He's such a good guy, bless him.
100% he knows. He's just
I know he's
effing
doing it on
with
purpose
you.
by now.
It's so funny.
Oh,
So what do you think
jeez.
the ETA is? What do you? That was
Well,
where I was kind of going with that question. Is
yeah.
like,
So
you could get in there every weekend and kind of get her done. What do you think?
I honestly don't know. It's how long is a piece of string? I did promise August this year. Potentially, I could have it running by August, but I don't know. There's a lot there that needs doing, and unfortunately, it's I'm there most nights now that it's sort of drying up a little bit. I'm down the unit a lot more now, but it's still like, well, I either got to wait for this part or I can do this and then move on to that, and then it's trying to prioritize it. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm the type of guy that doesn't like to. I got a dang frog in my throat. Sorry, guys. I don't like to work on my car unless I have like majority of the parts or
Mm.
things that are needed. It's like annoying to me.
Yeah.
Um, because it's kind of like like I have a garage here, but I got to go like downstairs, move some things around, and kind of get going. So for me, it's like more of a hassle to go down there, do all of that, and then work for half an hour. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I mean, I've
should
got.
do that. It's
Yeah,
like
I mean, you've got no
progress.
excuse because I've got a 10-15 minute journey in the Clubman, which, as you know, is chuffing low, and then the way down there is just all country. I think I
No,
posted a
I'm
video
saying
up
there's
the
no
other night.
excuse. I always advocate for progress.
Yeah,
It's just getting little things done. It just checks them off the list. So,
it's
um,
small progress, isn't it? And it leads
yeah,
up to big progress. It's just
yeah.
chipping away at stuff.
When I was putting my engine back together, it was just like it's so daunting. You're just like this list of everything, and you're just like, all right,
Mm.
I'm just gonna do this one thing, and then 2 days go by, a weekend goes by, you're like, oh shit, like I'm almost
Yeah,
done.
yeah. It's crazy
you
because all
know.
of a sudden it's like a light switch, isn't it? It's like ping. Oh, it's literally almost there. It's like, how's that happened? Which is good.
Speaking of like doing things in the garage, we've been asked and we've talked
Like,
about
ha,
it,
ha.
talked about it a few
Are you
times.
sure you're
In
just drinking water? Sorry, but
I don't know, it's California water, so who the hell knows what's in it?
it's probably those toilets again.
Exactly, it's freaking the toilet water, literally. I filter it, so one of
Oh,
these
it's all
days I'll
good.
make some money and I'll get one of those damn reverse osmosis water things. That's the move right there.
That's the dream right there.
But we've talked about it. People are like, maybe some YouTube content,
Mm.
not necessarily vlogging, but whatever. And I attempted the other day, and it's just like the way I work in the garage is so sporadic that I
Yeah.
can't. Like I can't like say, all right, I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna do like because I'm always just like beep, boop, beep, boop, boop, bing, 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 like a
Yeah.
pinball machine around the garage, tools everywhere and everything. It's just like, oh man, it's so difficult.
But
So
maybe that's what
difficult.
the people want to see. Because it's
Maybe.
probably not just us that do that. It's probably half of the population or half
I
of our
think so.
community that listens to us that does it like that.
Yeah, I think so for sure. It's just difficult too in the garage setting that I have. Like, I really need like a bigger tripod. Like, I have a little mini one that I can prop up here, but like to really get something entertaining that I would want to watch and I would want to put out, it's like, man, it's not like I like videoing and editing and things like that. I like producing content,
Yeah.
but it's dang, it's so difficult. I started
It
and then
is.
I started last weekend or whatever weekend it was, and then I was like, shoot, I forgot to film like 10 things. So
Oh,
then
jeez.
it's like, oh, cool. You just brought the intro, said what you're gonna do, and then like, then it's like
Forgot.
halfway done. Yeah.
Oh no. The thing is, the worst thing as well, because I dabbled on YouTube for a little while, and a lot of the good stuff happens off camera that you're not ready for, and that's the
Right.
most annoying thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, all the YouTubes that I watch is, they all started doing it themselves, vlog
Yeah.
style, which I can do. Um, but it's just like doing something like changing a head gasket and doing all that kind of stuff is like, which I was doing last weekend. it's just like it's not like a quick little. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's kind of boring.
I know
If
what you
that makes
mean.
sense, like it's
I know
kind
what
of
you
boring.
mean.
Like I'm unhooking a few things, like under the car, unhooking the exhaust. Like no one wants to
And
really
the
watch that. I
the
don't
thing
know.
is as well, there's so many videos of doing that as well. It's how do you make that stand out from everyone else that's done it?
Exactly. It's the person. I think when we've said this before, I think a lot of people like this podcast because they like us. Maybe, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that I think their content might be interesting. I might be interested in their content, but they're so dull and boring
Yeah,
that I can't do
I'm
it.
with
I
you.
just can't do it. Their audio sucks or whatever it is, and
Yeah,
you know, and I get
there's no
that.
hook
And
there.
yeah, it's tough. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I'd
Speaking,
rather try to do maybe driving videos or not driving
yeah,
videos, but like those kind of cool short documentary style ones. I like those a lot.
yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we heard the latest about your gearbox after the rally event that you done.
Mhm.
You got the gearbox,
Mhm.
which you announced on here. Where are
Yep.
you up to? Are you driving yet? Is it road legal? Or can you go out and drive now? Or are you having other issues that we don't need to talk about?
Oh man, I got that gearbox. I don't even remember exactly, so I'll just kind of start from getting the new gearbox. That was a whole ordeal, but whatever. Finally got it. I was going to build it myself. I was going to do some straight cuts, and I opted against it because I do drive it a lot, or used to. And and I do drive on the highway a lot to just get to places in general. It's not that I wanted a highway cruiser, but I wanted something happy medium, so I opted to stay with the 3.2, I believe. Seems to be a good match for me. I can cruise at 65, 70. It's not absolutely screaming, and it still has decent acceleration, when I want to drive and cruise in the canyon, etc. So
Yeah.
I got a gearbox, reconditioned one, some new parts and stuff like that. Really beautiful. Slapped it all together. Had some bonehead mistakes. Not bonehead. Just I think sometimes the thing about the mini communities, there's a lot of parts available. Like almost everything you can get new, right?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff new, but sometimes they just suck, and you have to re-get it, or you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
you don't know what you don't know, right? Like some
It's kind of a
websites
live and
have
learn
the
thing.
yeah, some websites have the genuine one, and some have a repo one, and I just there's so many parts suppliers. You just kind of like I like to order from one, so
Yeah.
sometimes I might get a non-genuine bearing or something in this case, and I didn't quite know it. I don't, I wasn't like thinking about it. So it was the first motion support bearing when I was putting on the little transfer case thing. For those that don't know, it's like the first motion the first motion gear that comes out of the gearbox has like the little bearing on the end, and it like slots into like the transfer case thing, and there's like a little race in there, and it has to line up obviously, and it just kind of supports it there.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I was replacing it for good measure. Obviously, I think the old one broke. It's kind of hard to get it off anyway, but I wanted to replace it anyway since I was replacing pretty much everything in there. And it got caught. It must not have been seated properly just because it was, maybe it was just like a aftermarket one that just wasn't as good of quality and just didn't sit down in there properly. But, I cleaned everything out and I had it a nice socket, perfect size. It seemed to be fine, and just something about it got caught and broke it. So I had to get a new one.
Oh,
But I ended
jeez.
up getting like the actual, well, whatever the I forget what the brand is, RHP, RSP, I forget. Someone knows. Someone knows what I'm talking about. Very quality. And when I got that, I'm like, oh yeah. See, it's like you know what you don't know what you don't know, right? And so when
That's
that
it.
came, I was like, oh, now I know. Next time I need some sort of bearing, like that's the one I'm getting because it just fits so nice.
Snug.
Yeah, very nice. So that went on. Everything was good. Got the car up and running. Everything was working great for a week or so. I took it for black. Remember I was still remember the story in the rally, like I was having the brake issues.
Yeah, yeah.
Generally, I had them fixed, but I just still wasn't happy with them. So I was kind of like playing around because I don't remember how far I've gone. My car is a little bit of Frankenstein, just like every Mini. So it was like it was a right-hand drive. It was converted to left-hand drive. So I didn't have the proper, little plate that's underneath this master cylinders.
Yeah.
Nor did I really know because I don't think they made a left-hand drive in that year. So I don't know what it should be or what it, you know what I mean? You know what I'm
It's
trying
a
to say?
guessing game, isn't it? Yeah, it's like trying to
Yeah,
find where's
so
Wally.
exactly. So I was still kind of messing around with that. So the gearbox felt good, but it wasn't, and the brakes didn't feel like everything worked, and it
Mm.
just wasn't like, whatever. So I was just kind of trying to mess with it. And I went for a little rip, and it was a little bit of a hotter day, but not crazy. And I took it up a pretty steep canyon, and it didn't overheat by any means, but it got a little hot. And
Which they do uphill.
yeah, it got a little hot, and it didn't continue to climb. It just kind of stopped, but it stayed a little hot for a little bit. Looking back on it, I should have continued to kind of drive to get it cooled down a little bit because I didn't have my auxiliary fan hooked up yet.
Uh,
But whatever, it is what it is.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Exactly. And I don't know if that's what did this or not, because backtracking again, I kind of cleaned up the cooling system. I don't have a heater in mine, so I just had it kind of looped back into the system, and I finally got just like the single non-heater hose that just goes down to the bottom. So it's all cleaned up, everything like
Nice.
that. But it didn't have like a bypass valve or bypass in the water heater from the head to the water pump rather.
Yep.
That's just how mine came. So I had a little hole drilled in the thermostat, right? Again, I don't know if any of this caused this, but I started getting a leak, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. I thought it was the timing cover because it had dripped down to that, and it was kind of coming from that. So I pulled, reluctantly, pissed off, pulled it all apart. I was going to pull the engine and just like double check everything. I was like, no, just calm your ass down, pull it apart, just do it while it's in
Take
the
a deep
car,
breath, take a step back. Yeah.
which is a pain in the ass, but it was doable. So I replaced the timing cover gasket. All was good. Leak was still there. It's like, shit. But it wasn't coming from that. So now, I was able to kind of see where it was coming. It looked like it was just dripping down the back of the block. So I pinpointed it to, I think it was coming out of the head.
Yeah.
And that's where the oil feed from the block to the head is back there. And apparently could be a common spot, especially if you don't have that bypass and the heat can build up.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had a good head gasket. I had the BK450, which is a good head gasket so I've been told. But what I didn't know, talking to some mini gurus out there, is that there's one called again, I'm probably going to butcher this. I believe it's the AK470. And it was a later one that has like a little rubber portion that goes around that spot.
Yeah.
So I pulled the head off, made sure everything was flat, cleaned it all up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I put that one on, and knock on wood, it's good. Everything has been good.
I
Then,
feel like there's a but.
yeah, everything on that side seems to be good now. And then I go out the next morning to, double check, right? Shit happens overnight.
Yeah.
And there's a little drip on the clutch side now. And I was
Oh, come on.
son of a bitch. And it looked like it's weeping out of the like the clutch, where I don't know if you know, but some of you might know, the clutch kind of housing, the walk it's called, or some people call it the walk, and the transfer case there, right? There's a little hole at the bottom that has a cotter pin in it.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to kind of like direct the oil out of it. It looked like it was dripping out of that. I was like, shit. And the only thing really in there, because it didn't look like it was coming out of the housing itself. It looked like it was coming out of that whole area. So it's the the I don't know, it has various names: rear main seal, the clutch oil seal, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's got to be it. And looking back on that, I did replace that, but I had a little bit of an issue getting it on. I didn't have the tool, which everyone recommends the tool, but I did the like alternative that the websites say to like not cardboard, but like a
Like
what's
a
it called?
gasket paper sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
the thicker kind of sheet
Was
stock
it
paper.
was it a case of loading up the YouTube videos as well?
No, I mean it's just I just know because for those that don't know, that seal goes on and it goes over your crankshaft, and your primary gear sits on that. Okay, and that's kind of where the flywheel and everything attaches to. But the oil seal has to go in and slot in, and it has to be like tight around that. And it can get kind of caught on the primary gear when you're pressing it in, or in my case, I had pressed it in and I'm like slowly sliding it on to get it over that.
Yeah.
And I do remember it was a little like it was like I had a kind of not so. Maybe it's on there crooked. Maybe it got pinched. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. So
Things like that are so easily done, though. That's the thing.
yeah,
And
it's they're fragile. So
yeah,
I borrowed that tool. There's a cool little tool that you can slide in. So basically, today I'm gonna try to pull that apart in the car. You basically slide this tool, like this metal sheath, over the primary gear, and you
yeah,
can slide the seal on so it goes on straight. And then there's like a little another piece that slides over the sheath part that's flat, and it butts up against the seal, and you can just slowly work it in. So apparently
guys.
it's the way.
If if
There's
anyone's
a
not watching this,
watching.
you need to watch this just for
There's a
hands
lot.
for Mike's hand movements, right?
There's a lot of hand movements going on. I did not. That was too, there's
No,
the
you're
seal.
right.
There's the seal and everything, and it's just.
Oh,
Oh.
jeez.
So I don't know, and I
So
don't
that's
even
today's
remember.
job then.
That's today's job. So hopefully, I don't know. Worst case scenario is somehow I'm producing too much crankcase pressure, which I don't know, man. I don't know.
I guess trial
So
and error, my man. Wait and see
yeah,
and find out. And hopefully, it doesn't leak anymore after this.
fingers crossed.
Although I do know you got a very new part for your interior the other day. How's that looking?
Ooh, I can't enjoy it right now because I got a leaky car.
But does it look good where it is though?
It looks real good. I got the mountainy. I don't even know what it's technically called. The center like horn button, but the
Yeah, it's like
polished
the horn
one.
push. Yeah.
Horn push. Oh man, it looks so good. I've been wanting it, and I never disliked the black kind of wrinkle kind of one.
Yeah, it's almost
It,
like a leather texture to the plastic, isn't it? It's really quite cool.
yeah, yeah, it looks cool. I like that one. But I always wanted that polished one. It looks really
Mm.
nice, and this is a plus for Mountainy. Like, I didn't think it was going to be like shitty or anything, but it's way better quality than I thought it was going to be. Like it's like heavy duty, thick, beautiful finish on it. I was like, damn, this is a nice piece.
Definitely.
And it's one of those cool kind of little interior mods are super fun. I
Oh,
love interior
100%.
mods.
The way I've always looked at interiors are you're the guy or girl who has to sit there and drive
Yep.
the car. So
Yep.
why make the interior boring?
Yeah, my interior is not like super nice or anything,
No,
but
but it's
I try to keep
fresh.
it clean. Yeah, I try to keep it clean. I got that awesome garage foss. I don't know if you say foss or foss dash, which is awesome. The
Mm.
Mountainy steering wheel with that. I got the little gear knob extension, which is sick. I don't know. It's
Did
just
we figure out if that was Downton or
I think
Speedwell or
I think it's BMC.
it
I
is
gotta
BMC?
I think so. I gotta double check. There's like stampings on them that some are like BMC, some are like I forget. Is it Alexander? Is that the company? Alexander Speed?
Oh yeah, the guys. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, they make the inlet manifolds and stuff as well, don't they?
I think so. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, so that's kind of
Nice.
where I'm at right now. Car runs great. It's driving nice, other than some leaky leaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good. The gearbox feels real good. Pretty notchy. I borrowed also. I love borrowing tools from my friends, but I borrowed the color tune, so I'm gonna throw some new plugs in there and just kind of double check everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the piss. This is a fun one that I learned. My HIF 44 carb I had switched out a while ago, and I always liked it,
Hmm.
but full throttle, full throttle, like
Bottle of water.
banging gears, right? You know, between gears, when I would smash the throttle again, there'd be like a slight hesitation, like a little
Oh.
drop off, just a little bog spot, like barely. And I was like, oh man, my tune's just a little loud, my timing maybe, I don't know. And I was always just kind of tinkering.
Yeah.
It was always just kind of there. And I was reading, I think it was AC Dodd that I saw this on. I forget. There's different pistons, the little like cap thing, and I
Yeah,
didn't
like the
know.
your dampening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why I never thought about it. Again, you don't know what you don't know.
Oh.
But apparently, there's one that is for minis, 1275s or plus or whatever it is, and
Oh.
so I switched that out. It's pretty much gone. Pretty
Nice.
cool.
That's what you want.
Pretty cool. Pretty
Because
cool.
I know
Yeah.
you can sometimes run a thicker or a thinner oil in them, which will make a huge difference as well.
That.
So I don't know if
Yep,
you
and
ever tried
that's
that.
yeah, that's the thing too. I've always run 3-in-1 because it's worked fine, and
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you gotta like, just mess with it.
Yeah.
And honestly, that is something that I would like to look into and like just kind of further fine tune it. You're just pulling out just a little more performance, right? Which is fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm assuming you need. I don't know. See, that's why I need to like really think about it. Which way I need to go for my application? Do I need to go thicker or thinner? Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard for me to think about, especially while I'm on air.
Is
Is it
it?
thinner?
Sorry, was it
Do I
twin or was
want
it
it?
single?
Huh?
Is it twins or single?
I just have a single HIF
Single.
44.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know too many people that run the double. I know I've seen Tom Schrock that has a double HIF 44, I think, which I've never seen before. So
I bet that sings.
yeah, I think he's got a pretty big engine in there, like a 13 something.
Jeez, like 13,
We
18.
still need to
something.
have you on, Tom. What the heck?
Yeah, come on, man, jump on. We don't bite.
He doesn't drive minis anymore. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I don't know. He's too famous for us.
Oh dear. So, Mike, on the podcast, we I don't know if you listen to us or if you have been listening, but we do this thing called Paddy Probe.
Never heard of her.
You never heard of her? Oh well, you're in for a nice little surprise. So, basically, it's a quick fire round. Or it doesn't have to be. You can answer with full questions, but I just like to ask you a few little questions and get to see your answers and get inside your head a little bit.
Never heard of her. Hurry up! I need to go to the wash closet.
Oh, I'm still looking for the symbols.
The toilet bedroom.
Oh, jeez.
Some of my bee.
Yeah. So, who's doing the first round?
I thought you just said you were going to Paddy Probe me.
Do you want?
first. Or
Okay.
do you
No, I
want to
don't mind. I
alternate?
don't
Do you
mind.
want to alternate? Like
Let's
you
do it.
ask, the question, and then you.
Or one of us asks a question, the other person will answer, but then the other person can then give an answer to that same question. How's that sound? And we'll just alternate through them.
Let's do that.
Job done. All right. What we got? Oh, I don't think I've ever asked you this. Ever. Not even off air.
Okay.
What is your favourite mini variant?
Oh. The boring answer is as a kid, it was always, Mark 1 Cooper S, as most people, I think everyone wanted one of those. But in terms, as I like got older and realized there's like crazy variants and stuff like that,
Hmm.
um, I think my favorite, ooh, I have a couple, I think. I like the weird, quirky ones like, Mini Marcos and stuff like that. I think those are
Yeah.
cool.
I think AJP Mini just brought one, didn't he?
Did he?
I'm sure it was AJP Mini. The little
Man,
green Marcos sort of looking thing. It's really
oh, I
cool.
don't
It
know.
might be
He's
a
got some
GTM, I'm not
sick,
sure.
sick watt wheels
Mm.
though.
Oh god, yeah.
Those are sexy. My favorite kind of like factory one though would probably be the Wolseley Hornet.
Really?
I think those are so well. One, I love the name. I'm a sucker for that. That just gets with Hornet. So
Oh yeah.
cool.
You'd have to
And
paint it green though, wouldn't you?
I don't know what I would paint it. I
Like a
my
green
my
hornet.
envision no, not anymore. Not a fan of that. Everyone hates on it, but there's multiple like visions you can have. You can like do the super
Mm.
classy one with the boot and everything like that. But my favorite is when somebody like decks it out in like race trim and get a little bit wider wheels, dude. Those things look badass.
There's quite a few out in Japan which are like that,
Yeah,
and
I'm
they
just
look
the
incredible.
minis are quirky, but I think those are super. Like no one would ever see one of those here. Like
No,
if you pulled up to somebody like everyone would be like, what in the hell is that? Which
I
is
can't remember.
not why I like it, but those are cool.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was the Wolsey Hornet or the Riley Elf, but the front badge lights
Hornet.
up. Is
I
it the
think it's the
Hornet?
Hornet. Yeah, I think it's
It's
the Hornet.
so cool. I never knew that up
Yeah,
until what last year, the year before. It's
yeah,
such a
and I
cool
think
little
that's
like party
yeah, I
piece.
think yeah, super cool, super cool. I mean, I would take either one of those. They're super cool.
Yeah,
But I
it's a good shout.
think my like my
Your go-to.
I don't know if I don't. God, it's a hard question. And that's why it's on the that's why it's on the probe. Is I think I would really want a mini sprint.
Oh, oh, sir. Oh,
Those
sir.
Paul.
Yes.
What's the guy? I'm drawing the blank on his last name. Paul Willington. Wingington. I
I'm
forget.
not sure.
Everyone's screaming at their screen right now. He does amazing like sprints and stuff. They're so sick. His body work is
Nice.
amazing. Those are cool, dude. I want one of those.
Oh, 100%.
And I don't know
Such
if
a
I
good
have the
choice.
balls to do it to mine.
I mean, you've got the race car.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have the
You're
balls
halfway
to do it
there.
to that.
It's already a shell.
I don't know if I have the
Do
balls
it.
to do that.
Just do it. Just do it. You live once, Mike.
No.
The car's gone past being a purebred now. Just do it. Comments, people, should Mike do a GT conversion on his Mark 1 Cooper S race car? Because I think yes. 100%.
The thing about it is, I just don't know if I trust anyone here to do it. Like I would have to ship that bitch out to the UK to somebody that actually has done it before.
Well, when you come over, just bring it with you. Just put it in your suitcase. It'll be fine.
It probably
It'll
fits.
fit. Yeah.
So are you now answering that same question?
If you'd like me to, I can.
Yeah, go for it.
Why not? So, I think episode 27, when you had me on as BMC Outlaw,
Yeah.
I think I answered with the mini Ogle, or Oogle, I can't remember which way it's pronounced, which you hadn't heard of at the time. And I still stand by that now. But I really do like a well and truly sorted moke. And I'm not just talking, like back to OEM or something. I'm talking, there was one, I went to a show.
Like
Not
those
last
very
year, the year
like
before.
early mokes are sick.
No, like, dude, honestly, this moke was insane. It had a 1275 Metro Turbo in it. It had small 10-inch, I think they're like MB wheels or something, like splits. It had a single fiberglass or carbon fiber seat with like a half hoops roll cage, and it was just
Ooh.
decked, and it was so
Yeah.
cool. That to me is like pinnacle moke, lightweight, just give it hell down the road. That
Those
would be.
Yeah, those are sick. I really like those. The ogle or however you say that is super cool too.
So,
That's what I'm talking about. There's so many of those cool little variants that are built off of minis that
yeah,
it's hard to kind of pick one. Those are really cool.
and they're all raced. A lot of them raced. I think a lot of them ended up in the States and Japan. I think there was
Probably.
one up for sale quite recently. I think it was like £45,000. And it
Sheesh.
turned out that it was the first year I went to Bingley Hall. There was one there, and it was left-hand drive. It had been raced in America, but unfortunately, like yours, they didn't know a lot about the race history, which was a huge shame. Turns
Yeah.
out the one that I sat in and spoke to the owner with was the one that was up for sale quite recently, and I was
Hmm.
gutted because I was like, if I had 45 grand, I would have bought that without even thinking. Maybe I could sell the home or sell a few cars, but yeah, I'd love to have had that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Those are cool.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
What are you going for? What are you choosing?
Let's see here. Huh. I always like this question. I'm a simple man. What is your favorite? What's your favorite modification that you've either done or plan to do, or has given your Mini the most uh, transformed your Mini the most? Something like that.
This is a tricky question because my car is full of different quirks, shall we put it, rather than modification. Um,
Yeah.
oh man, I don't know. The the thing is, I've got a lot planned for it, which is going to be insane. And I mean, the Kirky seat's always a conversational starter for the seat. Everyone always comments about it wherever I park it or wherever I leave the car. They always go up and see the seat. The dashboard with the fluffy leopard print. I think, between the Kirky seat, the fluffy leopard print dash, or my Rip Speed International front bumper, I think are some of my favourite things that are on the car.
Yeah, that's good. Those are good for sure. I think for me, like I said, I like the driver kind of modifications, like things that I can really feel input from.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of mine that I've done so much. Obviously it's not like a crazy build or anything, but just all the bolt-ons, right? Like obviously the exhaust, that's cool. Like
Yeah. What have you
that.
got? Is it RC40 on it?
Yeah, RC40 with the
Yeah.
Maniflow down. It's a kind of a custom center piece that I
Yeah.
did, which is cool. Sounds nice,
Nice.
and it's like interchangeable. So I want to get like either a straight pipe back section or like a cherry bomb or something like that, just to see, because it's so easy to switch it out. It's a bolt on flange, which is cool. But I think mine is when they kind of go together.
Mm-hmm.
And I got them at separate stages, but my uh, drop column bracket,
Yes.
game changer,
Massive game changer.
the Mountney steering wheel, and
100%.
my little bucket seat, which I have no idea what it is. All those are together, and now my like gear knob extension. Once I find the right gear knob for it, all those together, it's just like a great like I fit perfectly in there.
Yeah. And that's the thing with modifications. It's not just one particular mod. It's
Yeah.
it's a handful of little mods put together to make an overall experience.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But
That's cool.
if I like recommend one thing for like an interior piece, is I think getting the adjustable drop bracket, because it's such a game changer.
Yeah.
For
Can I?
for me, it was just so good.
Yeah. And I'm going to give some piece of advice here. Do not put a Kirky seat in the driver's position. Don't do it.
I don't think anyone wants to.
No, I don't see why anyone would want to anymore.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
All right, Mike. Moving swiftly on. I'm not going to ask you that because I already know what the answer is going to be. And I think the entire world knows what that's going to be. So I'm not going to ask you that. Oh, we haven't had this question for quite a while, so I'm going to ask you this. I'm really going to put you on the spot here. If your Mini could talk, what do you imagine it saying? Describe the kind of personality it potentially might even have.
Ooh. So my Mini's name is um Reggie Cray, after the Cray twins.
A shooter
Famous.
is a shooter.
Yeah, so I feel like I don't know what he would say. Be like, fucking wanker, stop fucking playing around and just drive me, you fucking wanker.
It's only a little bit of oil, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's like I'm just bleeding from my, like, I don't know, you're just like,
A proper Monty Python, like, oh, 'tis but a scratch.
yeah, I think it'd probably say something like that.
Yeah.
But when he's like driving, he's just screaming. He's like, I don't know. He loves being driven, man. He loves it.
Yeah.
He's been a good car. I think he would say something like that. I don't know. He's rough. He's rough around the edges.
Oh man, I don't even know what mine would say. Like, my car's Gromit from Wallace and Gromit, but Gromit doesn't speak in any of the films, so I don't really know what it would say or what it would sound like. It's just, I don't really know. I've never really thought about it. I shouldn't have asked this question. I've dug myself a hole here, Mike.
Oh,
jeez.
Well, that's fine. He doesn't have to say anything.
That's fine. I mean, it's in a million pieces. It's not going to say anything for a long while.
Let's see. Let's get a little hot here. Let's see. What's like a hot take, controversial opinion about minis or the mini community?
998s aren't slow.
Ooh.
It's a momentum car.
It's a momentum car. They don't have to be, man. I've seen some pretty fast 998s.
The biggest piece of advice I can give somebody that don't actually do this: don't brake. Don't lift, don't brake, just keep it pinned and point where you want it to go. And
that's minis, dude, for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. But the amount of times I've come off a roundabout on a private road and ended up behind somebody or to the side of somebody, yeah, it's surprised a few people. That's for sure. Yeah,
for sure. I agree. Dang,
what's your hot take?
Huh. I don't know. That's a tough one. I think my kind of hot take is just kind of the car community in general, but overall, I think the mini community is very helpful. The hot take goes on both sides. Devil's advocate is, a lot of Facebook forums or anything like that, people ask questions, and they might be very basic to one person, but super advanced to this person, right?
Yeah, we're all different levels.
All different levels, for sure. And people always put those dumb freaking answers like, oh, it's the ejector button. Like, dude, just answer the damn question.
This is the 20th time somebody's asked this. Find the post.
Yeah, so I just, like, on one hand, I'm like, dude, just answer the question. Stop being a dick.
Yeah.
But on the other side, to the guy asking that question, a lot of people also say, hey, send me the link to that. Hey, what's that? Like, dude, we've all asked questions on forums and things like that, but do some research.
Yeah, Google
it. There is a search button. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it's a quick and easy way of doing it, but it's always sometimes it's the longest way of getting an answer rather than just searching.
It's tough because, I've learned that at a very early age in forums, like always do the search first, but and I always do, but sometimes it's really hard to like get like I might know the general idea of it, but I'm looking for a little more specific, so it's harder to it's hard to search that. So sometimes you just kind of have to ask it. And I mean, generally people are nice to me,
Yeah.
but I see stuff all the time where it's just like, just answer the damn question and help them out. I get people
Yeah.
asking me stupid shit all the time.
Yeah, it's
And I
normally
get
me.
people asking me just normal things all the time. Just answer them. Who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah. 2 seconds it takes to send a nice message back and be like, that's it, done. Move on.
Yeah, sometimes
You know?
I might be short because I'm just answering the question because I do get a lot of that. For some reason, I guess when you put yourself out there as a mini person,
Hey, just getting grumpy and old, Mike.
a mini influencer. No, I'm not short in a mean way, but I just answer the question. Like,
Yeah.
we have other things going on in our lives. We're human.
Yeah.
So if I'm cooking dinner and I see, your message pop up, I might just answer the question and not like chit chat with you.
Yeah, this isn't our full-time job.
Yeah. And nor do I know everything, so I'll tell you my experience with it. Let's
Well,
put it that
between
way.
between you and me, everything we don't know isn't worth knowing yet.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh God. Right. Should we end it on this last question then?
Let's end it. I got to go to the wash toilet.
All right. If you could have a drink, coffee, beer, tea, beverage with one mini celeb, who would it be and why?
This is the hardest probe question
Mm-hmm. There's
because
so
there's a
many
lot.
people.
There's a lot, right? Like
Smoking
obviously
John Rose.
obviously Patty, obviously
Paddy.
I mean Smoking John Rhodes. I'm very fortunate to have been able to have him on the podcast, which is amazing. Nick Swift, Alec Isagonis, like Alex Moulton with the highlight or with the cones, like you can kind of go down the list of all these crazy people that had their hand in mini history. But kind of coming back to like America and old school Americana, I think would be pretty cool. Would be Steve McQueen.
Ooh.
I think that would be a pretty cool one. Not that he
Yeah.
was necessarily well, I don't know. He could have been a really big mini guy. He had a mini. He had a Cooper
Yeah.
S. It was cool. It had his own flair on it. I feel like I would need a whiskey and like a cigar or cigarette with him.
Oh, 100%.
But and I don't smoke, but that would be I would light one up with him with a glass of whiskey or something. I
Oh,
feel like that
when
would
in
be a
Rome.
sweet conversation.
That
Just
would be pretty
everything.
cool.
He's got a lot of cool stuff, so I think that would be a cool one.
Definitely. Oh, I like that. I hadn't thought of Steve McQueen. Damn it.
There we go. I know. What about you?
So I think my original answer previously was Keith Ripp, who created
right.
Rip Speed International, who was the rallycross driver, massive in like the 70s and 80s, I think it was. But on a side note, I'd really like to have a gin or a coffee with Enzo Ferrari.
Ooh.
With his mini. A
Yeah, that'd
nice
be
little
cool.
Italian drive out to his
Yeah,
favourite
see
restaurant
that-
or something like that would be amazing.
We got to change the question. It was like, all right, add to it. Like, do you want to be at a bar with a drink,
Yes.
at a coffee shop with a drink, or like driving, like not drinking and driving, but like drinking your coffee while driving?
Yeah. Oh,
Or
100%.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Parked
which
up
one?
looking at the car whilst, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Because there's difference. Some people might want to be like at a table with the car talking to them. Some people might want to be driving,
That's
listening to them talk.
it. Ooh. Ooh, I
That
like
would be cool. Would be like Patty driving in like on the rally roads, all right? Like him and like talking you through like his thought process. That would be freaking cool. Or Nick Swift around like Goodwood or some shit. That would be sick.
That would be so cool. Oh,
Damn.
yes, love it.
I'm shooting
My
for
mind
that.
is just blown right now.
I'm shooting that for real life. I like Nick Swift. We're still trying to get you on, and we were really close. And I don't know what happened. The guy I was talking to, I don't know if he works for you anymore. One of these
Come
days.
on. Yeah, if you're listening, come on. We want
he's
you
down.
on here.
He's down. We were trying to get something scheduled. It was racing season, so it was difficult. But I don't know. The guy's email bounced back to me again, so I don't know I'm trying to get a hold of somebody new to kind of start that process again. But anyways,
We'll figure out. We'll figure out.
we'll figure it out. Anything else you want the people to know?
Yeah, again, I just want a public apology. Rowan Atkinson, again, sorry, we have run out of time to have you on this week. We will get you on soon. We will get you on soon, we promise. Mike and I have just both been very, very busy, so
I mean,
we
no
do
one
apologise.
really wants to hear him, so it's not that big of a deal. But
I mean, he's not going to say much apart from Teddy.
wow.
No, I'm sure he's got a lot to say. I'm sure he's got a lot to say. He's a lovely guy.
On that note,
see you later.
We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Cheers.